Hey Tani, excited for today's chat? We're zeroing in on mindfulness and present moment awareness for managing anxiety in 2026. It's such a big topic, but really important given how common anxiety is nowadays.
Absolutely, Mark. Mindfulness has become kind of a go-to for many people struggling with anxiety. I think it's because it's practical and accessible, no fancy equipment or prescription needed, just your attention. Plus, it's backed by solid research showing its benefits for calming the mind.
Right, and what's interesting is how the science behind mindfulness has really evolved. It's not just about feeling calm in the moment. It actually helps retrain the brain to react differently to stress. Have you noticed that kind of shift in your own experience with mindfulness?
Definitely. When I first started practicing mindfulness, I thought it was just about chilling out, sitting quietly. But over time, it became clear that it's about catching those anxious thoughts before they spiral and choosing not to get swept away. I feel less hijacked by my worry brain now.
It's amazing how the simple act of paying attention can reset our stress response. I read a study recently that showed even just 8 weeks of mindfulness training can change brain areas linked to anxiety and emotional regulation. That's pretty compelling evidence for giving it a try.
And what I love is how many options there are. Mindfulness doesn't have to be formal meditation all the time. It could be a mindful walk, noticing your breath, or even fully savoring your food. These little moments can be powerful anchors to the present, especially when anxiety tries to pull you into the future or past worries.
That's a good point. So often, anxiety is future-focused, worrying about what might happen. Mindfulness grounds you in what's happening right now, which dissolves that what-if spiral. Do you have a go-to mindfulness technique you reach for in stressful moments?
I do. I usually start with what's called a body scan. I check in systematically, feet, legs, arms, chest, and just notice any tension or discomfort without trying to change it. It's almost like giving my body permission to just be, which helps me step out of the mental chaos.
For me, deep breathing is a game changer. Slow, deliberate breaths activate the parasympathetic nervous system, basically telling your body it's safe. Sometimes just counting breaths helps me break the pattern of racing thoughts. It's simple but effective.
The breath really is our secret weapon, and it's always with us. Anxiety can make us feel trapped in our heads, but tuning into the breath brings some control back. It's interesting how mindfulness promotes that observing self, where you watch thoughts and feelings like clouds passing by, rather than being swept away.
That idea of being an observer rather than a reactor seems crucial. When you're tangled in anxious thoughts, it's easy to feel like you're stuck. Mindfulness teaches you to step back, notice those thoughts as just mental events, and choose how much energy you give them.
Exactly. And it's not about denying the anxiety or pretending it's not there. It's about acknowledging it fully without judgment. That's a subtle but powerful shift. Instead of fighting anxiety, you start making space for it and let it have less of a hold over your mood.
I find that approach frees up mental energy. Fighting anxiety can be exhausting. When you step back and allow it to be present, it loses some of its intensity. Have you seen mindfulness help reduce negative thinking patterns too?
Oh, 100%. Anxiety often comes with all kinds of what-if catastrophizing and harsh self-talk. Mindfulness helps interrupt those patterns by shining a light on them early. You become more aware of automatic pilot thinking and can catch yourself before the brain runs wild with worst-case scenarios.
That awareness piece is huge. The more you practice mindfulness, the better you get at spotting these patterns. Are there any apps or resources you recommend for beginners wanting to build a mindfulness routine?
Yes, there are some great ones out there like Headspace and Calm. They offer guided meditations and helpful reminders to stay mindful throughout the day. But I'd say don't get stuck thinking you need an app. Sometimes just setting a timer for 5 minutes in a quiet spot and focusing on your breath is enough to start.
That's liberating advice. Sometimes the simplest practice is the best place to begin. I've also read about how integrating mindfulness into daily activities, like washing dishes or walking, makes it less daunting. Life still happens, but you're bringing more presence to it.
And that can make a profound difference in your overall anxiety levels. When you're mindful, you're less caught up in replaying the past or worrying about the future. You're grounded in now, which reduces the adrenaline spikes anxiety feeds on.
Speaking of adrenaline, adrenaline-driven anxiety can feel intense and immediate. Mindfulness seems like a great tool for managing those moments too, slowing down the nervous system's reaction. Have you found it helps even during acute panic or stress?
For sure. When panic hits, it's tempting to try and fight it or distract yourself frantically. But mindfulness encourages you to get curious about the sensations, breathe into them, and remember that they're temporary. That curiosity changes the dynamic from fear of the fear to observing it with calm interest.
That reminds me of something called urge surfing, which I believe ties closely to mindfulness. It's about riding out the wave of anxiety or craving without acting impulsively. The wave will crest and fall, and mindfulness helps you stay steady through it.
Yeah, urge surfing is brilliant. Instead of drowning in anxiety, you catch the wave with awareness. This practice builds resilience over time. You realize you don't have to be controlled by every anxious thought or sensation or rush to escape it.
I love that message, resilience through presence. What about the challenge people face with mindfulness? Their mind keeps wandering or anxiety makes sitting still tough.
That's so common, Mark, and actually kind of the point. The mind wandering is not a failure, it's expected. Mindfulness is the practice of bringing your attention back gently again and again. With anxiety, the challenge is learning patience with yourself. Even a few moments of mindful awareness are valuable.
That's encouraging for beginners who might feel frustrated. The goal isn't to achieve a perfectly empty mind, but to build the skill of gentle redirection. Can mindfulness also help us outside formal practice, like in social or work settings where anxiety creeps in?
Absolutely. Mindfulness can be an anytime tool. For example, if you notice your heart racing before a meeting, you can do a quick breath check or notice the ground beneath your feet to recenter. Over time, these small pauses can reduce overall anxious reactivity in daily life.
So it's really about building a habit of present moment awareness that carries through. Before we wrap up, what's a simple piece of advice you'd give someone who wants to try mindfulness to manage their anxiety but feels overwhelmed?
I'd say start tiny. Even just one mindful breath when you wake up or before you eat can make a difference. Don't aim for perfection or long sessions right away. Curiosity and kindness toward yourself are the secret sauce. Mindfulness is a journey, not a destination.
Couldn't agree more. Starting small, being patient, and noticing what happens all build momentum. Thanks for sharing your insights, Tani. I think listeners will find lots to try here.
Thanks, Mark. It's been great unpacking mindfulness in relation to anxiety. This topic feels timely and practical for anyone looking to feel more grounded in a fast-paced world.
All right, listeners, here's our question for you. What's one simple mindfulness practice you found helpful in managing anxiety? Drop your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. We'd love to hear your stories and maybe learn some new tips ourselves.
And if you're new to mindfulness, what's one small way you're inspired to start bringing more present moment awareness into your day? Share that too. Let's build a community around this shared journey.
Perfect wrap-up. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Take care of your mind and be kind to yourself.
See you next time. And remember, the present moment is always a place you can come home to.